Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kanika Shanae, aka The Pretty Hustler, and I'm back at it again. I know. First off, let me say I'm sorry. I know you miss me. If you don't, shame on you, shame on me, and shame on me again for making you not miss me. But now that we've got all the personal detachment out of the way, let's get started with today's guest. Today we have infamous Ty here, and it's special to me because there's nothing more than I love than money, music, food, and my friends and family than Brooklyn. And it just so happens that everything happens to be all in Brooklyn. Of course, I had to have a Brooklyn artist on my show. Actually, I think you're the first ever Brooklyn artist to be on my show, so that's kind of dope. Before you know it, I get some calls, I get texts like, oh snap, you gotta have this person, that person. I want infamous Ty on my show. So without further ado, infamous Ty, spill that one time.
Yeah. Infamous Ty. Got my boy K Vaughn with me. Swag dripping. Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce.
Gentlemen, the king.
When I step on the scene looking clean, baby, too much sauce.
Too much sauce.
When I walk in the spot looking hot, baby, too much sauce.
Too much sauce.
Walk in the club, all eyes on me. Swag dripping, a nigga really flee. Rock glistening, cooler than the AC. Your girl like Tupac got her eyes on me. She know I'm with the antics, I'm with any antics. She's giving me brain, shit is so fantastic. She know a nigga hot, cause I come from the block and I'ma make it to the top. And it wear her G-spot. Ooh. Shorty give me sloppy woppy and she calling me poppy, then she ride me Kawasaki.
So anyone from Brooklyn clearly has my full and undivided attention because I'm a Brooklyn girl. What better to have a Brooklyn artist to sit down with a Brooklyn writer and talk all things music? Pfft, of course. So first of all, infamous Ty, I want to thank you for coming on my show. Thank you for being a part of actually the first interview under my new brand name, Spill It Entertainment. One of the things that I noticed you were saying that you take a strong tactic of networking. Can you tell us, like, what was the thing that motivated you most to be a part of the music industry? Because I know it's really hard being a part of the music industry and networking with certain people. Some people are a little standoffish, and nowadays in society, as far as artists are concerned, their tactic is clout. We clout chasing out here. How do you feel about that?
About like networking and clout chasing?
Yeah, the difference in what it makes as an artist.
With clout chasing is just like, and how I look at it, I feel like with clout chasing is for like the moment. You just want to do it maybe because you see somebody on your TV screen that did it, or maybe you feel under pressure that you want to do it, versus networking where I could go on my Instagram and hashtag interview or radio interview, and I look at somebody's flyer and reach out and be like, hey, I see that you got a platform, I would like to be a part of that platform. How can I go about being a part of that platform? That's the difference.
Okay. What do you think about the artists nowadays, though, using more so clout chasing than networking? Because you find that it would be helpful, especially as an up-and-coming artist, to network more, go to a couple shows, do a couple like listening parties, things of that nature.
I mean, difference is with rappers is like that's doing it for clout, because like the very first thing is like people talk a lot. There's a share on social media, or they see XXL posting a controversy or a beef. It's like like I don't really think nobody appreciates stuff so organically anymore. Everybody wants things on their lap and happen overnight instead of like, getting up on their ass and work for it.
Nobody want to work for it
Yeah,
nowadays. Do you feel like it's harder for you as an up and coming artist now because people are like that? A lot of media reps also, they rather have somebody that is a part of the circle and known, is even though they're indie, it doesn't matter, but known in the streets, so that way they'd be like, guess who I got on my show? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I definitely 100% agree with it because for me as an artist, even though it's not like technically my fault, but I still get the backlash from it, from like, bloggers, medias, PR, whatever they do to help get artists publicity. They will post up status about, letting them know like, yo, you got to get your stuff together. Where some artists will look at it as a shot or starting trouble. It's not really the case. It's not like a blogger's telling you, yo, you got to wear a Gucci belt, but you got to wear something decent.
Right.
Don't say wear a $5 belt. You feel me?
Look the part.
Yeah,
basically.
there you go. So
Look
that's
the part.
why, like, when I step in the picture and my worth ethic is ready, my budget is ready, and stuff like that, that's what kind of separates me from, like, the people who say that they are doing it.
Okay. So from your music, from what I hear, you're a hustler just like me. That's
Yeah,
right.
pretty much.
Because you said in one of your songs, you went from working at UPS to working at Fresh Direct. And do you know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's
the name passed me.
$1 Million Dreams.
Yes. And I was like,
$1 Million
damn,
Dreams.
that kind of reminds me of how my struggle was, getting to a point where I could be like, okay, I got this much and this is how much I spent.
Yeah, with me being the luck of finding 2 jobs last couple months before 2019, I had recently got fired from one job.
Right.
And I was down for that 1 month, even though it had at times when money wasn't coming in and that was like my only reliable income. But then I had to really sit there and really work with whatever I had in my account. I kind of regret that I didn't save up for rainy days, because they always say that. But now with the 2 jobs that I picked up, if I get paid weekly from both of them, I'll put one in my savings account, put one for spend.
Do you think that's important to know? Sorry to cut you off.
It is. I 100% agree, because like you never know when your back is gonna be against the wall. So that's where you can run to your emergency fundings and be like, hey, even though I may not like this job, I may not like this manager, but guess what? They pay me good, so let me take a little bit out of my emergency funds to keep myself like active and relative you know what I mean, relative, before I can get back on my feet.
I feel like that's really important for at least the youth to understand, because when I was in school, I don't know about you, like they didn't teach me any of that. I didn't know anything about me having to do taxes. I didn't know anything about me having to save. My first job, I was blowing it. Sneakers, Hollister, everything was on my dime. I remember one time I took my friends out for lunch, and that was I had my first little, like, have you ever had a prepaid credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a prepaid credit card, and that was my first one, and I was like, fuck it, we gonna ball out at Burger King. You want something? You want something? I wish, like, back then I had the mindset that I do now. Like, first off, half of them friends I ain't even friends with no more. That's number one. And number two, if I would have been saving from then, I would have been had what I wanted, the house that I wanted, the car that I wanted, things like that. So nowadays, especially like in Brooklyn, I'm going to talk about Brooklyn for a second because I'm really passionate about that. Especially in Brooklyn, I feel like their focus are more so into quote unquote rebuilding the community and not putting into what is already there. Like, my private school that I used to go to school. So I don't know. Did you go to public school or private school?
And then went to public school.
You never went?
No, I went to
You went
public,
to public
school.
school?
Yeah.
The private school that I went to, and a lot of the public schools now that I'm seeing, they're taking them down and they're turning them into apartment buildings. And it's not for us, and by us I mean African American people, and not for this people. They're just for the community, period. Like, just for whoever wants to grab it, and it's always overly high price. So how do you feel about gentrification?
Whoa. That's I mean, it's always an interesting topic for me whenever I speak about it. But it's kind of like a difficult topic to touch on, even though I'm gonna answer the questions and whatnot. But
we could get deep. I'm all about listen. I get deep.
How do I feel about it? Is you gotta take a look at the justice system. Mm-hmm. It's like bleach.
Prime example.
It's like bleach. Mm-hmm. It works for whites, but it doesn't work for colors.
Right.
So that's one example you could use, and where they're trying to push us African Americans either out of New York, maybe into Jersey, or most likely where everybody's going is the South. For what reason? I don't know what's so.
40 acres and a mule, you ain't know?
I don't know.
That's what they promised us. That's what they promised us,
You're
and
right
that's
about
what we
that.
go.
Yeah.
That's what we going for.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that we still have that mentality, because I'm not gonna lie, I still have that mentality. In a year or so from now, I'm hoping that I don't ever see New York except for vacation. Yeah. And it's only because of they got what they wanted. They completely looked at the situation, looked at the demographic, and said, these are the people that we need to push out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think that gentrification, at least, definitely plays a part in the change in the hip hop culture? Because Brooklyn, being one of the staples, Bronx is, according to history docs, first, but I don't believe it. First on the list, but Brooklyn being, one, they helped the greats, Biggie, Jay, Foxy. I love her. How do you think that affects the culture?
It does affect the culture, because majority of the African Americans who's in tune with hip hop and love it, doesn't matter if it's the old era or the new era today, they will look at it like a swagger jacker type. You understand? They will be like, we invented this. Why are you taking this from us? You know, understand? And if you really look at it, it's like white rappers like Eminem, for example. Everybody looks at him as like he's the Jesus Christ of the music industry. Versus somebody like Rakim, mm-hmm. who is probably one of the greatest lyricists. Probably never gets mentioned. But when you want to talk about top 5, it's always Eminem.
He's always in the top 5. Yeah, that's true.
Not taking away nothing,
from his artistry.
But yeah, so
there are other people.
There you go.
I think that's just knowing your history, period. A lot of artists, when they come into at least the hip hop culture, they don't really know their history. And that's why I'm going to use Tekashi 6ix9ine as an example.
Oh,
sorry,
boy.
Tekashi.
Oh, boy.
He didn't know his history. And if he had known his history, he would have known that what he did was wrong.
I feel with Tekashi, I just feel like he was just basically a popcorn rapper. Like he would get hot today, and
they pop and then you eat them. That's it.
Pop and eat them, and that's it. It's like it's no longevity with Tekashi. I can't sit here 10, 15, 20 years from now if I make kids and I'll be like, yo, I grew up listening to Tekashi. He was like, yo, who the fuck is Tekashi?
Along with all the littles.
It'd be like that. And,
all the littles.
where versus where me growing up and my brother and my uncle listening to hip hop growing up, they could be like, yo, I listen to Biggie Smalls, I listen to Tupac. 20 years from now, you could still probably hear a Biggie record on radio. Same thing with Tupac. 20 years from now, that's the direction that I want to go into, longevity.
Right.
You understand?
Speaking of longevity, like you have some serious longevity. You started when you were 10, right?
Yeah, I
How
started.
did you even come upon rapping? Did you start writing poetry like a lot of other artists, or?
Well, I just feel like when I turned 10, it's like, that was 5th grade. That was like, a stage in my life, what I wanted to do. And at one point, I wanted to be that. Another time during 5th grade, I wanted to be a firefighter. Another
Don't
time,
every boy want to be? Hold on. I swear every boy want to be a firefighter or a cop.
yeah,
I
it's like
promise you.
is either that or it's like, be a football player. Because, when I was growing up, I always used to watch one of my favorite football players, Randy Moss. Love that man. Always watch him growing up playing football. I was like, yo, I want not necessarily like Randy Moss, but be in the NFL, be in the fame, and, be in the spotlight. So I kept on switching my mind, switching my, life decisions around until when I hit 16, 17 in high school in 11th grade, where I was in a lab class. I was just like, just writing rhymes because, I felt inspired by my favorite rapper, Lloyd Banks from G Unit, Cassidy. I was always, because I had the Lloyd Banks CD, because Lloyd Banks really like the fuel to a flame. I had the his second album, Rotten Apple. I had it on a Walkman.
One of my best.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the Walkman days. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I had it on a Walkman, and I was listening to the Rotten Apple, and I was like, yo,
You'll be a part of G Unit one day.
Yeah, because 50 Cent, he's my idol, despite the the whole controversy.
He be clout chasing too. I ain't gonna hold you.
But
he's too old for that.
But he's in a way it's different because he's been forever been doing it. When he was dissing Ja Rule, when they had the beef going on, he was forever doing that.
You know why I feel like it's more emphasized now? Because of social media. So he's taking it upon himself to use the social media sometimes for good. Because after every post that he writes dissing maybe Ja Rule or Tierra Marie, or Tierra Marie, he still finds time to promote his stuff. And I'm like, how do you find time in that whole post to promote effing vodka? When did you when did you find time for that?
I mean, with that, I feel like it's kind of like a good way of marketing like yourself. Absolutely. And marketing your product, because if he could diss Ja Rule, right, one of his biggest enemies in hip hop, and he could do a hashtag get the strap or hashtag effing vodka, people gonna look at it and then gonna be like, oh, it's an interesting brand or an interesting product, because remember, he's a part of that, and it's like, whatever sale effing vodka gets, he gets a little percentage. So it's in a way of marketing, even though it can be a good and bad thing, because effing vodka may have a policy or a standard, and it's like, okay, you dissing somebody.
I'm actually noticing that a lot of artists are now putting ad in their post, just so that they know that the difference between an ad and a basically a dissing, clout chasing post.
Is with that, it's like reaching out to more people. So with Instagram, right? Because I've been trying to do that myself. Those sponsored posts you guys see all over Instagram.
Yeah.
Basically, it's if you have, let's say, 2,000 followers, right? But you only average 13, 15 likes a post. You may want to kick up a little Instagram marketing and be like, you know what? I'm gonna promote spilling the tea interview. Any artists who need an interview, come holler at me. and you may put in $5, $10, whatever, however your budget is set up, and how long you want to promote it, and that same post could reach 10,000 people, 20,000, 50,000 just by viewing it, but they don't have to like it. They're just by viewing it. So now they could watch your profile and be like, okay, let's see what kind of person she is and what kind of platform she's providing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
it's
it
a
basically
benefit.
it basically increases visibility. That's what it is.
It's definitely a benefit. I feel like a lot of artists now, they're not too keen on the stage presence thing. I've been to a lot of shows.
Oh yes, we gonna definitely talk about that.
Or the writing. I don't know who wrote your stuff, but the writing, as an artist. First of all, let's break down the difference. I want you to tell me, because I have my own definition.
Okay.
There's an artist, okay, and then there's a rapper. What category do you put yourself under? Because I've heard some of your music, and I feel like I am leaning towards one than the other.
Well, before I answer, what do you categorize me as?
But then it won't be hot of an answer.
No, I'll tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference regardless. But I want to know, what do you categorize? And be honest. Be honest.
I feel like you're an artist.
And why is that?
Just from the different ranges of your music, it doesn't feel like you're just rapping. I feel like rap is to tell a story. I feel like you're trying to tell several different stories and you make sure that you hit several different perspectives of that story.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that.
I try.
The difference, all right, with a rapper, not only that they're trying to tell a story, but at the same time, you got to look at it as what kind of story are they talking about? That's the question, or let's say if you want to talk worth ethic wise, they would get in the studio, record a song, throw it out on YouTube or SoundCloud, and hoping somebody will look for them. That's what you call a rapper according to business people. But with artists now, you got record, put it out, do shows, network, just push it all around best way possible. And by using the power of their cell phones, which is social media, we use it every day. It's like, with me personally, before I get up, first thing I do is check my social media.
You never know.
Why?
You could miss an email. You could miss a DM. You never know.
Yeah, it's like with social media, it's just so powerful. Like it's a powerful tool to network and get your visibility up and let people know who you are. While a rapper is just relying on hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams. Wow. That's deep for a rapper to be relying on that. They relying on SoundCloud hits or plays and Spotify plays, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
To get their I understand that. There's a lot of artists that I speak to on a daily, pretty much, and I pretty much tell them the same thing. Listen, if you want your stuff to get heard, you got to push it, and that means as many freestyles that you need to do a week. If you see a challenge, do that. If you consider yourself a rapper and you want to be pushed forward to that next level, which to me is an artist, you got to do everything. There's levels to this, and a lot of them just want to give them music and be like, yeah, this is my stuff. Listen to that. I never heard of you. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it I heard of you. I really like your stuff. I want you on my show. I don't BS nobody. I'm sorry. I don't. You got to have to, work hard. I'm not even saying that I'm the top cream of the cream, but you got to work hard to really get my attention, because I see people on a daily scroll my feed and I'm like, I know exactly where I want the direction of my platform to go and who I want it to be on there. And if you're not pushing your stuff as an artist, I'm not going to notice you. Period. Period. So, but let's get back to the performance thing. I've been to a lot of shows as of you. You definitely been to a lot from your catalog. The Black Horn, by the way, how was that?
The what?
The Black Horn. You went to the Black Horn, right? Black Horn 51?
Blackthorn.
Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, yeah.
Horn or Thorn? Okay.
Blackthorn.
Thorn.
Yeah.
How was that? That's a dope state. Where did you who did you go with?
I went with my team, Get Rich Entertainment. Basically that show for me, that show was like last minute.
Okay.
Cause I just hit up the promoter. Shout out S Rock from Rockview ENT. I hit
S-Rock.
Yeah.
That's my man's pots and grands. Shout out S-Rock. My
Yeah.
guy.
I hit him
mess with
up
S-Rock.
last minute. I was like, slot me in. I have the day off from work. Plug me in. I got the money right now. I'll cash app it to you right now. He said, all right, cool. I was like, yo, don't worry about giving me a flyer or giving me your tickets or none of that. Just send me the slot. And I paid for the slot. Went back home, sent him the music, and that was it. And then I invite my cameraman out. I say, yo, come with me. Invite a couple people out that that comes supporting and comes consistently, and we just had a great time.
Dope. So you think stage presence is everything, right?
Of course.
Right. So as far as get back to the rapping thing a little bit, I feel like, or artist thing, I feel like as an artist, you have to have both. You have to have great stage presence, and you have to put on a bomb-ass performance. Mm-hmm. Also, your writing has to be top-notch. Mm-hmm. So you infamous, Ty. Mm-hmm. Which one are you infamous for? Or are you infamous for both?
I'm infamous for both.
Okay. So the majority of the time when you on stage, what is it that gets you hype? What's the crowd? The crowd has to be live, or you just getting hype off your own music?
Well, it's a balance of both, because I have to get hype off of my own music because it's my record. I'm the one that's marketing it for that 5, 7, 8, 10 minutes that I'm on stage, and it's also with the crowd. Like, prime example, every time when I perform Too Much Sauce, they don't really necessarily know the entire song word for word, but it has that chant, Too Much Sauce. When you're in the club and you hear it and the DJ, scratch it on the ones and twos, it's too much sauce.
Right.
Too much sauce. It's like, hey, too much.
Getting with it.
Yeah, getting with it, That's what it is.
Okay, so do you feel like, as far as industry people, what are they looking for now? Are they looking for more of a stage presence? Because I've been to shows where guys will be on stage performing their music and they got like 50 dudes with them, like at least 50. I swear on everything.
I don't get the purpose of all of that.
Me neither. But you could swear on a stack of Bibles that somebody, an industry rep, would look at that performance and say, yo, they put on a good show. But who's they? There was only one artist. That was their song. You had 30 dudes behind you. I don't know. I mean, they could have been in the crowd doing that. Do you feel like, what are they looking for now? Are they looking for lyrics, or are they looking for a show?
Honestly speaking, they're looking for a brand. Mm-hmm. That's just the point blank period. They're just looking for brand. They're not really signing talent no more. So with a guy, with an artist who got 50 people on stage with him, he could have been doing that in the crowd and getting the crowd, right, getting the crowd hyped to make him look good. Right. But it's like, yo, it's 50 artists. It's one artist, and he got 30, 40, 50 people on stage. It's like, whoa, they doing all this extra ad-libs and all this stuff. And then on top of that, what makes it even worse?
Talk about it.
What makes it even worse? Because I know I'm going to talk about it.
Talk about it.
When they rap over their vocals.
Oh.
When they rap over their
Yo,
vocals.
he hit it on the net.
Oh my God.
Why you don't have a performance track? Why don't you have a performance track? That's the most important part of performing. That's something that you just hit your mans up and you was just like, yo, I'm about to get on stage. Just put me on. Here's the track.
Listen, let me tell you. let me tell you. I went to an event last night, right? Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, it was aired on TV. I'm still waiting for the confirmation and the channels and whatnot. So I went. I kid you not, and this is not to be conceited, is not to be cocky. Most of the rappers who performed on that stage, they rapped over their vocals. I'm like, yo, you're on TV. You're being exposed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions, depending on the broadcast or what station
absolutely.
you're on.
Doesn't even matter. Like
it's a live performance. It's you rapping, then the MP3 playing in the background. And then what makes it even more worse, you have a hype man. So what am I listening to? You, the song, or the hype man? What am I listening to?
Oh my God. And homeboy don't even know the words to the song. You just say, yo, come on stage, just get hype.
Like I need to know, what am I listening to? You, the song, or the hype man? Because it's like, how I'm gonna be honest with you, how I move at shows, I move like an industry person.
Right.
I sit back, chill, have a drink or two, whatever, you know. And you know, I don't be like, sometimes I'll be in the front of the show, sometimes I'll sit in the back. I'm like, oh, I like this beat, what this guy doing, or I like his lyrics, or I mean like a certain punchline, or I like the way how he get the crowd. And then if he got my type of sound or my type of standard, then, you know, I reach out to him and I'll be like, you know, let's work.
Right.
You know? And I ain't gonna lie, especially in New York, most artists don't follow up with features.
Let's be clear.
They don't.
Which is very sad, and which is why so many artists down south are getting more play. And they're coming up a lot quicker, because down south it's like they helping each other. Like, listen, you want to eat, I want to eat too. Let's go get a meal. Mm-hmm. You know, and not even just for artists, just people in general, like in the corporate world. Mm-hmm. You know, they, especially African Americans, we trying to eat together down south. In the concrete jungle is just that, a jungle. Mm-hmm. Okay? Eat or be eaten. Simple. And it's a sad mentality to have, especially as an artist. You don't want to, you know, go around doing that, because you never know, you might bite off the wrong hand. Mm-hmm. That's it. So you follow by your team, right? Tell us a little bit about that. Your team, who you representing out here.
Well, I'm representing Get a Rich Entertainment, and also I'm representing GGMG Enterprise, both labels. Get a Rich Entertainment, shout outs to Tremaine Rico Brown. That's my guy for like 5-10 years. And then GGMG, shout outs to Jim Gallardo and Diamond. I love them. They're like family to me. And with them, I can always go to them for, you know, their support, their insights on whatever, because, you know, they like me. They like my music. They watch me grow. I could sit here and take criticism from anybody, from even a stranger who walking down the street. And, you know, I could, like, you know, take that advice and run with it. Most artists don't really take advice. They feel like, yo, I'm the shit. Give me $5 million. You know? Give me $5 million, where I could be like, okay, you know, I could run into you or run into Homeboy or whoever and be like, yo, I got this music out. Let's hear your insight. And I'll take the insight and I'll run with it. So the next time when I'm in the studio, I could, avoid making the same mistakes that what I did
Right.
in the
'Cause
past.
everybody's opinion matters, especially the listener.
It does
you know.
matter. It does matter, but at the same time, it all boils down to the artist.
That's true. You have to feel comfortable to create what you want to create. You know what I mean? Always take insight, especially I feel like the biggest insight to take would be from the DJs, because they gotta play your stuff. Us media reps, we listen to it. If we bang with it, we gonna be playing it every day, and then become a fan. You know what I mean? But the DJs, they live this life. That's their job, to play the song correctly and to have a bop in the club. So the best advice would probably be to get from a DJ. Definitely. So what about your latest project? How do you feel the outcome is so far?
I mean, with the latest project, I feel that, worth ethic wise and really like cracking nights and mornings, it's starting to pay off. Reason being with that project, I'm gonna give y'all an insider. It was one of gem shows I did before, he decided to manage me. It's one show I did out in Mount Vernon. Some label reps had came out and they was giving out some distribution deals. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I went, did my thing, and they've been watching me from like show. They was there from like show after show after show. So it's like they finally gave a decision, and came to find out I had earned a distribution deal underneath through Rock Mass ENT. So I got nervous. Because it's like damn, it's the next step. And couple of the artists, they did earn it. I don't know, where they stand in the company, but as far as me, it's like damn, so like this. So I gotta take my career and to the next step. I have to start moving differently now. So I got the info. I got the info, chopped it up, see what makes sense versus what doesn't make sense, and then the real test was, not only writing 7 projects and finding 7 beats. It was just, the marketing, the artists who I feel, because don't get me wrong, I may know everybody and I may like or not like everybody. You understand? Or I may like your music, I may not like your music. So the people who's on there, they 100% deserve it to me, because from the outside I look at their work ethic, their dedication, their drive. So it's pretty much matching my standards. Right. So for artists like Just Right, for example, he's on the project. He's out Fulton Street, downtown Brooklyn. He's out in Times Square giving out his CDs for free, but taking a donation in return. He got his little clothing line, Write Your Own History. So I look at that. I look at artists like him, like, okay, I could grab and give him a shot. And my partner, not to sound biased or anything like that, my partner TRB and King K. Vaughn and Andy Entre, even though they're part of my team, and it's like, okay, those are people I could take and run. And S Rock too, he's on the project also. Not only he's an artist, he's a businessman. He provided me multiple platforms to showcase my talent. And we always click because we both Leos. I think we're a day or 2 days apart. And
he's a Leo?
Yeah, we always click on a lot of things. Yeah.
You're right. That's why you so mellow right now.
Yeah.
We gonna get you lit. That's it. Okay, I understand now. So you think that all that hard work pays, or you know that all that hard work paid off.
I know it paid
and you
off.
made a good selection.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in the next end of 2019, next couple months, next tomorrow?
Oh man. I always think about the future of where do I see myself. I probably see myself on TV, You might see
Which
me.
actually, you just said that you're supposed to be on TV. You don't know what channel it is, right?
I'm supposed to, I'm not saying it's expected, but it'll be lovely, like, to see myself on TV,
Right.
So yeah, whether it's a indie station or indie movie, or if not something major, by networking, connecting, try to connect the dots with some peoples. You never know where it could lead to, but that's why I see myself on TV.
As long as you're making the right moves or to get yourself to that next level, I'm sure the options are unlimited for you, pretty much. Because I see, you definitely from your demeanor, very business-like. So anything is up in the air now for the both of us.
Yeah.
After this interview, it's dope now. So I want you to drop your social media. Let us know what your next project is going to be, when everything is going to drop, what you're working on next.
All right. My SoundCloud, Infamous Ty. That's all my projects is on there, from my very first project to the last project. That's on there. My Instagram, infamous__Ty. I'm available for showcase bookings and features. Any artists need a feature, please feel free to come holler at me. Any promoters want to book for interview, showcase, whatever, just holler at me. My fan page on Facebook is Real Infamous Ty. My latest project out is called The Warm Up Part 2. It's soon going to be available on all streaming websites. Just waiting on a confirmation. And my next project, if God spare my life, is to release a first studio album called Chapter 25, which hopefully is going to drop on my birthday, August 9th. And something that was really tempting to release music on my birthday. I never really got the chance to, because it's like my special day, but I want to share
Share it with the world,
I want to
please.
share my special day with the world, because I'm a quarter of a century. I'm turning 25.
Oh, that's a
in
big
August.
deal.
So it's like, I got to share something with the people who came across my life,
Yeah, and a lot has happened. 25 years, you got a story to tell,
course.
a different one. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
I'm sure we'll have much more to talk about, especially after this interview drop. I want to live, so we're going to get that started. Thank you. Long overdue wait. I'm back. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Stay tuned for that interview. Thank you for tuning in. I love you.
Got killers with me looking mean, baby. Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Keep a duffel bag with blue honeys, baby. Too much sauce.
Catch me in your lady's kitchen, she said he cooking. Shorty got that wet, get that pussy dripping. Novocaine, that's the greatest grip, no Christmas. I ain't DJ drama, but a nigga got a wishing. Saying now that changed up, trying to get the fame up. Your man is a bum, tell that nigga get his bank up. Splash on her face, you would think my shot is laid up. Cuban link is a boss, so get on 2 chains up. Mommy, I'm different, my aura so different. Your bro's like a drop top, now that shit is missing. Looking for the